AJ, you remember when we said that the Google Stadia sucked and it was going to die a slow death?
Yeah.
And everyone hated us for it?
Yes.
But then it actually happened?
Yes.
Remember when we said there was going to be an Xbox handheld?
Yeah, everyone hated us for it.
Yeah. What's been in the news recently?
Xbox handheld!
Hey!
Welcome back to the 128KB podcast. We are the clairvoyants of the video game industry. Back once again,
yes,
due to lack of popular demand. This is your weekly dose of all things gaming.
Yes.
Did I turn everything on? I did.
I have no idea. I just started talking.
That was a cold start. You jump-started me. How is everyone? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
How's your week been in gaming?
I've actually completed Final Fantasy.
It's like I don't know you anymore. That's got to be like the third or fourth game this year.
This year is the game completion year for me.
Wow, you turned into the completionist.
I know, it's mad, isn't it? I've just been
amazing
games everywhere. I'm just
so you've completed Final Fantasy VII Remake?
I did, yeah.
It only took you 4 years to get there.
Yeah, well, yeah. Did,
but you completed it?
I did, yeah.
In time to take my copy of Rebirth?
Well, I'm playing through Crisis Core now.
Oh.
So, I'm 7 hours in.
No, are you playing that on your console or are you playing it handheld?
I'm playing it handheld.
Oh, yeah.
On my Nintendo Switch.
Wow. So, okay, a few weeks ago, let's lay the groundwork for this.
Yes.
A few weeks ago, we talked about the little whispers that were happening about Xbox potentially making their own handheld gaming experience.
That was because of their business
direct thing.
And we were picking it apart, going, play anywhere.
Yeah.
New hardware, and we were like, it's got to be a handheld.
It's got to be. It's got to be a handheld they're talking about. And wouldn't it be amazing and fantasizing about it?
Yes.
And then in the last week, old Phil Loose Lips Spencer
went to Polygon and let it all out.
He just let it all out.
Let it rip.
And now the idea of a Microsoft Xbox handheld actually seems real.
Yeah, it does. Yeah.
Like
rather than a fantasy. Like
this could happen.
It could happen because we were pulling that business direct apart and really reaching there for a handheld just because I want it to be true.
Yeah.
I sent Phil an email and just said, go on, just make a handheld.
Instead of the suitcases of cash you've been giving us, can you send us a handheld instead?
That's exactly what I said. And he went, He
actually said, why not both?
Yeah, that's true. Yes.
So,
thanks, Phil.
We make it rain. That's why we've got such a glorious high production quality.
Yes, that's exactly it.
Multiple cam. Anyway,
there is another camera right below. There is actually, just off. Yeah. But so we were picking that apart. But then he's come out and he's said previously, and this is what made me really think it during that business thing. Is I've read an interview 6 months ago, whenever it was, because there's been so much hype in the past year or so with handhelds. Yes, the Asus ROG Ally, the Lenovo Legion Go, MSI Claw. Such a weird name.
Obviously, the Steam Deck.
The Steam Deck, yes, of course. But these other ones are all Windows based.
Yeah,
and I remember reading an interview with Phil Spencer saying that he was on a flight playing Xbox Game Pass on his Asus ROG Ally, and I was like, so he's handheld playing. It makes sense. The guy's he's a busy guy. He's
traveling all the time.
Yeah, he's gonna be flying around the planet like loads, doing all these conferences, whatever else he does. And I was like, well, it just makes sense. He's going to be the guy that will want one. So and now he's come out and done another interview, sort of bitching about his Windows handhelds.
All these great innovators and leaders of these big industries, the genesis of ideas almost always start with either frustration or an awareness that there's like a gap in the market of some kind.
Absolutely, yeah.
And this one comes from frustration for him.
Yeah.
He talks about his frustration of wanting to have the shared game experience, both handheld and on the console. And this is what we talked about when we were fantasizing about an Xbox handheld.
Yeah.
It plays into the idea of their ethos, which going forward seems to be play anywhere.
Play anywhere, yeah. It doesn't matter what you're playing on.
Yeah.
Play Xbox.
Play Xbox.
And do it however you want on whatever you want.
And they want as many people as possible playing Xbox, and that doesn't necessarily mean the console. They just want people in the Xbox ecosystem,
whether that Game Pass or just Xbox games, Microsoft games.
And it seems like they want people to have, no matter where they're playing or what they're playing on, to have the same Xbox experience as well. And that's a really important thing.
That's a big one.
So currently you're playing your MSI Claw, your whatever it is, your PC based handheld, and firstly, you have to work through Windows.
Yes.
So it's not an Xbox experience.
No, it's not easy. You've got to set it up just like a PC.
if you were to get your Steam Deck by comparison and load that up, you're not playing on Linux, but you are.
Yeah. When you boot up the Steam Deck, you're straight into Steam's big picture mode.
Yes.
And it is easy. Like, you could give a kid one of these and go on, mate. And he would launch it up, go to the store, buy Fortnite, even though it's free. Not that it's available on Steam Deck, bad example. But anyway, you can just go and choose a game, download it and play, you know. Whereas on all these Windows-based handhelds, you need to set up Windows before you can even do anything.
Yeah.
Then you've got to download these launchers, install updates and firmware updates and whatever else it might be, driver updates.
And it's not even an optimized version of Game Pass that you're loading up,
or Windows. And then you have to then launch Xbox Game Pass after you've done all that, which will then do an internet check most of the time. So if you don't have Wi-Fi or a hotspot, it probably won't even work anyway. So there's all these hurdles, and he's getting frustrated with how kind of frustrating that is.
It's friction, isn't it? It causes friction for the player. It's hurdles to getting the same experience. And if you are then willing to go for all these hurdles, you're then not even getting the same experience as someone natively on Xbox.
Absolutely. And maybe not even playing the same save.
That's huge.
That's frustrating. And that's where the Switch wins, isn't it?
Yes.
You're at home, playing your Final Fantasy Crisis Core.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh no, AJ's forced me to come down and do the podcast. I said, no, I want to play.
Forced you?
Yeah, I was like, no, I want to play Final Fantasy.
You liked this.
Yeah. It's Easter Monday.
It is.
And he was like, come down here. I went, can't I just play Final Fantasy? He said, bring it with you. And I went, I can. Yeah. Because I've got a Switch and it's the same save.
Save.
Yeah, there we go. So I pulled it out. There it is. Whereas with some games, and this is where he was going with specifically, which is hilarious because it's a Bethesda game.
It's his game.
It's his game now. Fallout 76.
Yeah.
He said he gets frustrated that he can play on his Xbox, but then when he's on his, I think he was saying Lenovo Legion Go.
It was, yeah.
There's not cross save.
Yeah.
So he's got to play a totally different save.
That sucks.
That's annoying.
I don't know if I've even got the stamina in myself to be, if I'm really like deep into a game, to then load an entirely new instance for that same game. I don't know if I've got it in me to do that.
No, I'll just wait until I got home.
I'll be playing a different game.
Yeah.
And that in itself is stupid, isn't it? Why shouldn't I be able to just pick it up and play?
Yeah.
Switch has given us the ability to do that for 7 years.
7 years. Yeah, that's mad, isn't it?
It's mad.
It is mad.
And we're at a stage now where these games consoles and their handheld equivalents are all essentially the same things.
Yeah.
Yes, the console version is going to be slightly more powerful than the handheld version, granted.
Yeah.
But they are all based on PC architecture now.
Yeah.
So there's no reason why they can't run the same game, as shown by the fact that they do. So why can't we now join this up?
Save. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And that's what I really like about, I know some people hate the direction Xbox is going in. I like it because it actually seems like he's coming across real gamer problems and trying to fix it for the gamers.
Yep.
You know? Who else's taglines for the gamers?
For the players. That sounds like, was that Apple?
No.
That was PlayStation before they started selling overpriced hardware everywhere.
Yeah, not for the gamers, for the elite.
I mean, the really exciting thing, not just that we would have an Xbox handheld potentially, because that's a day one purchase.
Oh, yeah.
No question.
Yeah, I totally buy
day one purchase. But that would also force PlayStation's hand as well.
Yes.
Yeah. You have to. And does it step on Nintendo's toes as well? The competitiveness of the market, if they all go this way.
It would then get competitive.
That's exciting.
Yes, it is.
Because how long has it been since we've seen a proper like three-way like competitiveness for your gamer's attention?
Yeah. It's not really been, is it? Nintendo have always been the innovators.
Yeah. And
Xbox and PlayStation are just like, more power.
And we'll try and focus on like big AAA games that get people's attention.
Yeah. So, it would be cool to see something different. I mean, Nintendo will always be Nintendo and they won't care, they won't fail because of that. They will just continue because you will only be able to get your Nintendo games there. But
the Switch opened the door to it all. The idea of hybrid handheld gaming, and show the appetite for that has shown the rest of the game marketplace that there's, was it 140 odd million?
Yeah.
Players that want to engage in this. Interestingly, just a quick side note, Jim Ryan's last day of PlayStation. Did you see it?
Yeah.
And as he left, he just announced that, oh, by the way, the PS2 did sell 160 million units. Bye!
Threw on an extra 5 million on there.
How have they quantified that?
Exactly,
and do they show it? And is it just to make sure he holds the crown for as long as possible?
That's what it was.
Will the Switch sell another 20 million units? Do you know what? I don't think the Switch is going away in the next generation.
No,
I think it's staying in the stay.
Yeah. We're going to see a Switch successor, like a
side by side,
an integrate. I can't think of the word. The next step of Switch systems. Iteration, that's what I was going for. So it's still going to be a Switch system.
Will they just combine the sales?
Yes, that's it. Just stack them all up.
Tell you what, Jim, have a look at this.
Yeah, they'll send him an email. I know you've retired, mate, but yeah, you suck.
It will force PlayStation's hand to do the same.
Well, there's already rumours of, the PlayStation having some sort of actual handheld since the whole Portal thing has been sold out for so long, and they've probably gone, okay, maybe people want a handheld, and then all the backlash online of everyone hating against the Portal whilst loving the Portal. Do you know what I mean? There's all this for and
really against. Weird, isn't it, the duality of that, because the reaction pre-release announcement was what a shortcoming this is.
Yes, the
Portal. We were amongst that, and yet try and get one.
Yeah, they're so hard to find.
They're sold out everywhere all the time.
But I get
Scalpers.
it as well. That's it. Yeah.
Well, I see them in the Consumer Electronics Exchange shop.
Oh yes,
CEX.
Yes, yeah.
They're currently in there for £290.
Oh yeah, that's good. Yeah,
second hand.
Yeah, nice one, CEX. Yeah.
So they're scalping.
They always do, though.
So yes, there's strong rumours that PlayStation will join in. Whether or not we're going to see dedicated hardware from Microsoft, I think that's the important thing to really touch on first of all.
That is totally... Well, that's the thing, because what he's talking about with the wrap up the Windows side is he's frustrated about this real niche side of these Windows handhelds and how that frustrates him.
Yeah.
So to me, there's two solutions here, isn't there?
Yeah.
You've got the solution for that side, which is then going to be a software-based, let's change Windows slightly, or even just the Xbox app so that you can force it to load on startup. So when you turn on your Asus, if you've ticked the box, if you turn on your Asus with a Windows handheld, it will just boot into Xbox.
So like a big picture app, basically.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. So
do you think that they would carry that over to Valve as well, to the Steam Deck? Because that's a tricky one, isn't it? Because it's a different architecture. It's Linux to start with.
Yeah. Oh, what? To enable it for Steam Deck?
I'm not sure if it's going to be at launch thing. It might be for the Microsoft-based, the Windows-based handhelds. But when I'm looking at the handheld market as a whole, Steam Deck's got to be a huge percentage of that.
It is, but again, because it's not Windows, you can't actually put Game Pass on it. You can only stream
That's what I mean.
Game Pass.
Will they find a way of integrating it into that? I hope
so, because I'd love that. I'd love to actually have native Xbox support on Steam.
I just wonder if
Linux,
that's a conflict of interest for Valve, because there's going to be some games that are existing in both places.
Yes.
Which would mean that Valve would not sell on their marketplace if it's on Game Pass.
Game Pass. Yeah, no, I get you. But I don't know. I can't imagine seeing Xbox as part of Steam, actually in Steam, because I just don't see that happening. But if they launched a Linux version, then that's a possibility. So you
just boot straight into Xbox rather than
you could do
Valve's because
the big picture mode, whatever they call it, because you just load up. Yeah, you'd be able to do that.
So that's the first thing, and he talks about this in great detail. The frustration from a software perspective.
Yes,
that you're booting into these handheld PCs basically, and they're running Windows. There's a big hurdle in order to get to where you're going to play your Xbox games.
And that's PC saves. That's the conflict here, is he wants his Xbox console save, but now he's playing on a PC, and there's that sort of disparity there that it doesn't match up. So changing the software wise, letting cross save be a bigger feature,
and even just the user interface. It's broken at the moment. There's a real disconnect, and it doesn't necessarily suit a handheld gaming experience very well at the moment. No,
and that's sort of my turn off with these Windows handhelds, because I've been spoilt by the Steam Deck with how easy it is and how console like it is,
how optimized it is.
Yeah, it's so optimized, and all the driver updates are done through Steam. They do it for you. You don't have to back out of Steam and piss around on Linux trying to find what's out of date or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Valve do it for you. They hold your hand for the whole experience. All these other systems just go, get on with it. It's a blank like canvas. It's basically like an emulator that comes empty and you've got to fill it, you know? It's that kind of experience.
The nightmare of emulators.
Well, exactly. It's frustrating. And some people are cool with that and they enjoy that, but for the average user, no. And also because that's the only option for Xbox right now, it's so niche. Like the percentage of people that own these things will be pale in comparison.
Well, you have to remove all of those hurdles. You just have to, if you want to get to that Nintendo Switch level of success. If you want to break 100 million units, proper successful consoles, you have to remove all of the problems, all of the hurdles, all the frictions, because you're now appealing to the wider casual gamer, someone who's going to play once a week, someone who's playing once a month, some little kid. You've got to appeal to them all. So all of the problems have to be removed.
Or businessmen or people going to school on the trains, whatever.
Just want to do it I just want 10 minutes.
I want to turn it on and it be done. Not turn it on, go through Windows, load up the app.
Driver stopped working.
Yeah, exactly. I haven't got an internet connection or whatever. You know, like you want to be able to have like an Xbox handheld that is dummy proof. Like,
and then the kind of cherry on top of that is exactly that idea of cross save. It's a smaller percentage of people for certain. It's quite, you're not going to get 100 million units of someone who's bought an Xbox console and an Xbox handheld or
PC version,
a PC one, an MSI Claw. That's going to be a really small amount of people. But for those amount of people, we're at a stage now where it has to exist that your same instances are everywhere at the same time. We just has to now. It seems crazy that it wouldn't.
Exactly. It does seem silly. But so I think there's the software side of it. And then there's the hardware side of it, which in my opinion will sell. They would sell so many. They really would, especially because PlayStation are on the back foot. Even though they love selling overpriced stuff, you would have thought they would have released one for like $1,000 by now. But no,
with non-Bluetooth headsets.
No 3.5mm jack.
No. We don't use Bluetooth. We use PlayStation Pulse.
That's
whatever it's called.
Whatever their way is, lossless stuff.
Oh, the lossless compressed audio.
I love that.
It's made up.
But so if Xbox actually, especially if they were first, if they jumped out and went handheld, first one they've ever done,
well,
that'd be so good.
The thing that's exciting about all of this, now this is tinfoil hat stuff. The thing that's exciting is that they said there's a big announcement coming at the end of the year.
I know.
So, what are we talking end of the year? We're talking September? October?
The
start of the last quarter?
Ready for the actual end of the year.
We don't know what this big announcement is.
No.
There's been some leaks of the discless Series X. So it's probably that.
I don't feel like that's actually an announcement. No, but it's not, is it? Like, who cares? Like,
fingers in ears.
No, but a discless Xbox Series X. That ain't anything like big in the in the hardware market. Do you know what I mean? It's going to be this. It's not going to be any more powerful.
No,
like everything's the same. It will just be rolled out. That would just be like, oh, there you go. Like, that's not something to shout about in a business meeting. No. We've got some exciting hardware things. I understand that leaked controller from a while ago. It had haptic feedback or whatever and all this kind of stuff. Even that, I don't feel like it's a big announcement.
It depends, isn't it? I mean, they could make anything sound like a big announcement.
That's true.
A games company.
But I mean, to be fair, I would say the controller is more of a big announcement than a discless Series X.
Yes, I agree.
I'd say a discless Series X.
You've got to be careful how you say that.
Is actually like a more negative thing to announce because you're taking away physical gaming.
Oh, there'll be backlash for certain. Yeah.
So at least with a new controller that's got actual new technology in it, like actually has gyro, actually has haptic feedback and all that's more of a like, yay, something new.
The one I want to say potential against this that you could argue against is there's an inherent flaw with Xbox's offering at the moment from a game development perspective. You've got the Series S and the Series X. The Series S is a super underpowered cost price version, but Microsoft have this like testament, this rule that can't be broken, that everything has to be available on both consoles.
Yes. Yeah.
Which means that developers are a little bit hamstrung.
Yeah.
Some things won't come to Xbox because of that.
Because of it, or it would take longer is the main thing, isn't it?
So you have a subpar, potentially optimized for Series S version. Now, a handheld that comes out is going to be performance-wise on a par with something like a Series S.
Yeah, well, they could just take the Series S and put it in a handheld, because instead of rendering out of 1440p like the Series S does, it'll be rendering out of like 720p or 1080p.
Which would mean it cope with it a lot better.
It would end up probably playing better than the Series S would on an actual TV.
Yeah.
And the thing that, as an argument against what you've just said about yes, there's two systems, even though I fully agree, and that causes problem, they made an exception for Baldur's Gate 3.
Yeah.
Right, where Microsoft said you've got to release it with complete parity between two systems or it's not coming. They said, well, we can't get co-op working on the Series S yet, so you can either have it on the Series X and not the Series S, or we won't bother. And so Microsoft turned a blind eye and went, go on then, just release it anyway. And then they said, yeah, well, co-op will come at some point.
At some point.
So imagine it is just the Series S rebranded as a handheld.
Yes.
And then they just going forward do that. So that what they say is it's on Xbox Series X right now, fully compatible, everything. Like they've really focused on it, and it's coming on the handheld in 6 months, 12 months. Give us an extra year to get it, compatible. So there's a delay. Yeah. So it's always still going to come to it, but there's a delay, because maybe
it's difficult, isn't it? Because then it feels like and
you're still being penalised.
You're being penalised, and that was the historical inherent problem with handhelds was you would always get the Fisher Price version of the game.
Yeah, no, you're right.
It's not the same. You have to wait for ages. The exciting idea is that you'd have both at the same time.
I think that was the only right fantasy, way,
isn't it?
Well, I think that's the only way of doing it, because Phil keeps saying play anywhere. And if you're being delayed a year, you're not playing anywhere. You're playing
but the other thing as well was, contrary to what I was just saying, yes, the handheld version will be less powerful than whatever the current possible hardware.
Yeah, the flagship is. Yeah.
But the Series X was 4 years ago, 3.5 years ago.
Yeah, 2020, wasn't it?
What's possible in a handheld now?
Yes.
Compared to then,
massively,
is a massive leap.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
So you could possibly get quite close to parity to a Series X in a handheld.
Yeah, in a couple of years. Yeah,
exactly.
Totally. Yeah, I totally agree.
The APUs that are going to be available. Then. Or even now.
Yeah, ready for then. Yeah,
ready for then.
Yes, I do agree with that.
It does, obviously. The closer you get to peak performance, the more expensive these things are going to get.
Yes,
which is the problem.
It needs to be like a shared thing, doesn't it? Like, it needs to be balanced, is what I'm trying to say. It needs to be a good price, but also needs to perform well. Against these PC handhelds, I would argue. I would say that it will probably be better because it's a sole experience. We've always said how consoles are really good because they're all the same.
Yes.
It's not like PC where there's all these variables. You've got a different processor, different RAM, different motherboard, different all this stuff. Consoles are consoles. So that's one thing it's got on its side. Is an Xbox handheld will always be just an Xbox handheld. They'll all be the same. All the games will always run on them the same. There will always be differences, even now, between the ROG Ally, the MSI Claw and the Lenovo Go. They're all different PCs. They're all going to run differently. Whereas just a stock handheld from Xbox, even if it's slightly cheaper, a bit less performance, probably run better than some of these other ones, maybe.
Can I share with you my nightmare scenario?
What's that?
Like worst case.
Oh, no.
There's something that would really deflate you. You've got this full bubble of enthusiasm right now. Just got a right big pin and pop it.
Yes.
Microsoft are doing a handheld experience. It is going to be announced at the end of this year. But it's the same as the PlayStation Portal. It's just a Game Cloud streaming device.
They've already got it. It's actually already on their website.
Is it?
It's the Logitech G Cloud.
No.
But that's what it is.
I know, but they're going to brand it an Xbox.
Because
there you go.
But that's not play anywhere. That's just
there you go.
That's play on the toilet.
Yeah.
That's play in your house as long as you don't leave the house.
Streaming, as you figured out recently, if you're in the same room as the console with a really great internet connection, it's amazing.
It's really good, yeah. I've been streaming a lot of PS5 to the Steam Deck and Xbox to the Steam Deck, and even straight off of Microsoft servers via Game Cloud.
But you have a ridiculous internet connection.
I do have the best super stable you can get in the UK.
So kind of it balances out.
It does, yeah.
What would your reaction be to that?
Oh, what, to cloud streaming thing?
The Xbox Portal.
I tell you what, if it could be what the Portal is, right? So you could stream your own Series X at home onto it, which is what the Portal is, because the Portal, you must have a PS5, right? And that is a must, a requirement. It's redundant without one. And you can only stream in the same network, really, because otherwise it just sucks. If they can do that, but then it lets you stream Game Pass via an internet connection.
That's a big difference already.
Without owning an Xbox, then it's already viable for a lot of people. It's already better. Already better. Yeah, and streaming from the Xbox servers, providing your internet connections can handle it, is ridiculously good. I've been having a blast playing Sea of Thieves through their server. They're running the game for me, and I'm just streaming it. Amazing. That would make it viable. I still don't see that as Play Anywhere. That's Play Anywhere there's a hotspot or Wi-Fi connection. You wouldn't be able to play that on a plane. You wouldn't be able to play that in a cave.
It does make it way easier for them to do, though.
It would be
way more viable.
It would be, and they wouldn't have to worry about compatibility issues, because they just stream straight off what they're doing already. Exactly. But then not
performance issues gone.
But not every game is on the Game Cloud thing, so that's the thing. But
what was he talking about? What games was he talking about?
Well, I don't know.
No, specifically with Phil Spencer, what games was he talking about?
He was talking about Fallout 76. I don't know if that's on there.
It's going to be, though, isn't it?
I don't know.
It's a Bethesda title, isn't it?
Yeah, but not everything's on there.
Yeah, but it will be.
Well, maybe.
It will be at some point.
I don't think they're going to do that. I really don't think they're going to do a streaming only. If they did, then that's fine, because people can buy this system without having to have an Xbox.
That's the big thing.
And that is great.
If PlayStation could have just made that small edition without any hassle, and I would have gone and bought a port.
I would have probably bought one.
I'd be waving the flag for it, saying, great idea. £200 and you can play PlayStation games off their network.
Yeah, they absolutely stab themselves in the back by doing that, for stopping you from able to stream. You can't even stream to your PS5 to your Portal.
No.
So you can't use their servers. No. They're like, what? What are you thinking? No. It's just stupid. But anyway, I don't think that's going to be the case. I don't even think we're going to see the handheld at the end of this year. I don't think that's what this big hardware announcement is. I want to be wrong. If it drops this year, I'm buying it.
What do you think the announcement's going to be then? Do you think it's the controller?
I think it's probably something rubbish that
or the discless Series X.
Yeah. It's going to be something that sucks. Yeah. But what I do think is that the handheld is the next generation. So I think this what comes after X, Y. So the Series Y,
it's gonna be Z, isn't it?
Okay, the Series Z.
The Series it won't follow the same naming convention, because they're not. And I love Xbox, but they're too stupid to realise to name things in order.
It should have been the Series 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yes.
Okay, so the Xbox Series, right? Oh. That's the next generation, or Zero. Just start again. Start with Zero.
That's what they're going to call it.
That would be cool.
Xbox Zero.
The Xbox Zero 1. I'd like
Zero
that.
1.
Yeah. Wow. And then just binary it 0 1 1 1 0. Wow. Okay. That'd be good. But anyway, so the next generation of Xbox, there's going to be the flagship Series X style. Home console. Beefing it up. They've already said this is the biggest generational leap you will ever seen.
They have said
that. They literally said that. Yeah. So that's going to be their flagship. Yeah. It's just going to be a massive.
It's going to be a
computer.
Monster.
Yeah. And then they're going to kill off the Series S and replace it with a handheld. That's what I fully believe.
I bang on right. I think you're bang on right with that.
A couple of years maybe, and then I think that's going to come out.
Will they make the leap early? That's the other thing.
I hope so.
There's talk of it. There's talk that they're going to jump the gun on the generation.
Yeah, I hope so. I love my Series X. I genuinely do.
Yeah.
But I am fully ready for them to do the next one and have it tied with this handheld. I would buy both day one.
Do you know, I love the Series S. For its price, I think incredible. It's absolutely insane.
It's a brilliant offering.
Yeah,
but really imagine that being the handheld.
Oh, I would have the best time.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people hated it. But imagine playing Starfield.
I love Starfield. That's great.
Handheld Starfield would be incredible.
So good. It's the perfect game to be able to take anywhere because it's so big and long.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You could play it wherever you want. It's brilliant.
Yeah. I mean, it would be phenomenal if these things didn't rely on having an internet connection to stream stuff. But I'm really selfish, but I always think about my own situation and that I can't be in the minority because I know there's so many millions of gamers
I think the majority of people have crappy internet.
Yeah, my internet connection at home is not great.
Yeah.
I can watch like Netflix and stuff, but that's about it. I think I get like a 4 meg download.
140p. You just make out a person.
Yeah. It's just all compression
squares. 8 squares is their face.
It's like one of those slide games, puzzles.
So like you're playing Flashback 2?
Oh my God, Flashback 2. Just having flashbacks of it.
But yeah, I think most people have crappy internet.
Yeah.
Like really, like the majority of people don't have good internet. I had crappy internet up until like a month ago when we moved, you know?
So the idea of streaming games is just impossible. So I do a lot of my gaming here at the studio, but there's times where I just want to go home and just relax and and I thought, maybe a portal would be a good idea actually, because I can keep my PS5 here. But I would never be able to stream it. No, it just wouldn't work.
That's why you need a Steam Deck.
That's why I need a Steam Deck. Yeah, maybe. But then the problem is, it's yet another ecosystem to invest into when you're starting from scratch.
Yes, yeah.
Like I've got a big PlayStation library, digital and physical. I've got Xbox. I've got Game Pass.
Yes.
I've got some Xbox games, and now if I were to get a Steam Deck, it's like, right, I've got no games.
Yeah, but for the price of one £70 game, you could buy like 70 games on the Steam sale.
Absolutely right, actually. What I loved in Discord was as soon as the spring sale started, everyone's like, so what are you buying? How many useless games that you're never going to play are you going to buy?
I've definitely bought a bunch. I bought games already owned.
Yeah, why not?
Like multiple times.
Yeah.
I'm weird like that. I'll have it like across multiple systems. I was just thinking the other day, like when Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown comes out on Steam, I'm buying it again.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you complete it?
No, I haven't had the chance yet because of the whole like house move and stuff and playing Final Fantasy.
There we go.
You just wanted me to say it.
I just wanted you to mention Final Fantasy because in the 128 KB bingo card, you hadn't mentioned it yet.
Yes, yeah, there we go.
I haven't mentioned it.
No, it's been me, actually.
I completed Rebirth. Can I just say?
You just steal my thunder. I completed Remake.
Yeah, I completed Rebirth. I completed Remake twice. And the DLC.
Show off.
And Crisis Core twice in waiting for Rebirth.
Well, I bought Crisis Core. When was it? Like 2 years ago? I'm only like
2 years ago.
I'm like 7 hours in.
Rebirth, I'm just going to say it, is the greatest game ever made.
Is it on Game Pass?
No, it's not on Game Pass. No. It's nothing to do with Xbox. I don't even know why it's in this video. Just saying it's the greatest game ever made. Full stop.
But talking about physicals, because you're going to lend me...
I'm going to lend you that, yeah.
Which is one of the benefits of physicals.
100%,
right?
yeah.
If PlayStation and Xbox release a handheld, it's going to be all digital, isn't it? They are no way pressing... Well, okay, Sony will come out with their own proprietary SD card again, like they did with the Vita.
Do you think they would?
Yeah,
£900, aren't they, Sony? Yeah.
£900 for 1 gig.
Yeah.
And that would be what Sony do. Xbox will be all digital.
100% be all digital. Yeah,
there's no way.
It kind of has to be. There's no point having. It's just no point in having the cards.
No. I mean, they already do discs for their main systems. They're not going to have another outlay. Do you know what I mean? It's just
it costs. No matter what the comments say on these videos, it costs a huge amount to produce on discs.
Yeah.
Primarily because you have to license production on the disc in the first place.
Yeah.
It does cost a lot, and I say this from someone that has pressed things onto discs for productions in the past. Disc productions are expensive.
Yeah.
Way more expensive than serving it once on a server and letting people download it off that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Way more expensive.
Yeah, of course, because you could have one downloaded however many millions of times. If you do the discs,
then you have to cut in the shop that's selling that disc.
Yeah. Yes.
It costs a lot more.
Yes.
And if you're going to handheld, it's a great excuse to go, well, this handheld experience is digital only.
And there's an all digital Series X, coming at the end of the year, apparently.
Yeah.
So that's paving the way for this all digital
it's
handheld.
Coming, whether we like it or not. And we've said it 1,000 times. God, in my gut, in my core, I dislike it because I love having the discs. I love collecting games.
Yeah, same.
Love it. I love the experience. And when my attitude now has changed. I like the convenience of digital.
Yes.
For those casual games, for the Game Pass.
Yes.
For games I'm not as worried about.
Yeah.
So my attitude now is, if it's a game I really love, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth's a great example. I'm going to buy the physical version because I want to keep it. I want to collect it. I want to love it. I want to open it up. Maybe I'll buy the collector's edition or whatever.
Display it or whatever. Yeah.
But for the other games in between that I'm like, I kind of quite fancy playing that.
Yep.
I'm just going to get the digital version.
Yeah. Digital is when you're like just playing games, it's always digital to go. Do you know what I mean? Because discs now, they're just outdated. It's outdated. Do you know what I mean? They're rarely on the disc anyway. Yeah. And it's the actual, like, I'm just getting old and lazy. I cannot be asked to get up, take the disc out and swap the disc over. Do you know what I mean? Like, I just don't want to do that. I just want to lay there and go, that one. And then it worked.
The thing I was thinking about recently as well with the argument that we had against us was this idea of permanence.
Yeah.
That I want to own the game that I'm buying and playing it.
Yeah.
Because I want to play it forever. So
that's fine if they're on the disc.
If they're on the disc. Firstly, let's pretend that there's nothing downloaded off a server from this game. Yeah. Which is rarer and rarer now.
Yeah.
But let's just say, okay, that's the case. How long does that disc last, do you think?
Yeah, well, the disc degrades, doesn't it?
They degrade, yeah. They're all doomed to die.
Yes.
30 years? Yeah, 40 years?
Yeah, I'm not too sure myself personally, but...
It depends on how you keep them.
Yes.
If you keep them and they get damp or too cold, they will rot. All discs rot. And it's not scratches. We can all fix scratches. It's the layer on top, the plastic bit on top. Underneath that, there's the foil layer where all the data is etched into, and that starts peeling away from the layers of the disc. And once that happens, it's gone forever. There's no coming back.
Yeah, exactly.
So they're all fallible. Yes. Cartridges, the same. They're all fallible.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
I mean, how long does the data stay on an SD card for if you don't use it?
Exactly, yeah. I've no idea on modern stuff, but I know at least with all my Game Boy games and stuff, they've got batteries in them. Yeah. When that battery goes, that's it. Your save's gone. And, you know, the whole game's not playable. Some games don't let you even load them.
Exactly. If you've not taken it apart and put a new battery in it, and the battery's then... like erupted and corroded, then the whole thing's broken.
Yeah.
None of this media is permanent.
No.
It's just permanent media doesn't exist.
No. But I love having the physicals. I like you know, and with the new studio, I've tried to display the faces of the games.
Really nice.
Because I like looking at the artwork. So I'm like, I'll choose some to face outward. But ultimately now, I way prefer digital to play. Like the Steam Deck, 2.5 terabytes I've got in there. And I've got so many games downloaded. And sometimes I'm just like, I'll just want to play that. And I can just go, boop, and then it'll just load. Do you know what I mean? I don't have to do anything. Don't need to switch anything over. Don't need to, it's just there. And it feels like if you're a true gamer, not a collector, I understand that's kind of separate. Yeah. It's like it's the same with people tinkering on PCs and not actually playing the games. Yeah. It's like, let's get the best settings. Yeah, but you spent 4 hours just getting 60 FPS. Great, but have you actually played the game? No.
But if you like doing that, that's absolutely wicked.
Yes, it's fine. Yeah, that's not a problem. But if you are just gaming for enjoying it, like me with Final Fantasy VII, I skipped all the side quests, put it on easy, and I just went.
The thing I don't...
because I just wanted to play it and experience it and have fun.
The thing I really struggle to understand is that I always assumed PC gamers were the more purists, right? Yes. That were going to be the more likely to be against physical media transferring to digital. Yeah. But on PC, this happened 15 years ago.
Yeah, it happened a long time ago.
And they just accepted it.
Yeah, it just happened.
Oh, it's easier, actually. Cool. It works better.
Yeah.
And I think maybe it's that acknowledgement that actually it's better, it's faster, it's more convenient.
Yeah, and you can actually jump into games quicker.
Isn't it weird that us console players are less accepting of a switch to digital?
Yeah, it's weird, isn't it? And
it is weird.
Also, I know I'm like a minority now that I've got good internet. Yeah. But, just to show off. No. But you'd think the speed at which you can transfer the data from the disk to the system via the disk drive is now well outdated compared to, like, I was downloading games from the server, just downloading, and I was getting downloading 1 gigabyte every 8 seconds. Every 8 seconds, I was downloading a gig. I downloaded like a 60 gig game in like 5 minutes. It was ridiculous.
I guess
like,
that's the other thing
on
with
a disc, it takes like hours.
The other thing with the disc as well is that they're not used to play the games off of.
No, they
can't. Disc drives are well too slow now.
But that's what I mean. Like, it's too slow to play the game. But even installing the game from...
So you're installing a digital version of the game?
Yeah. I think I could download the game quicker than if the game was written on the disc.
I mean, now you're showing off.
Transfer. That's what I mean. Yeah. So I think it was... How quickly does the Series X transfer at from disc to... I think it's like 30 megabytes per second. Something like that. I was downloading 125 megabytes per second from, the internet.
Yeah.
So it's just quicker for me to download it than it would be to install off a disc.
Yeah.
It's just silly, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like, so the future is like eventually internet around the world will get better for everybody.
Yeah.
So
especially if you're in a place where you're playing computer games.
Yeah. So
almost certainly it's going to get better and better.
So there we go.
I wanted to finish up this show.
Yes, yeah.
With a question from our members.
Oh, did they say, would you buy a handheld Xbox? Oh, yes, I would, yeah.
They didn't actually. Conveniently, they didn't say that.
Oh.
This is a section of the show where I turn to our channel members, which are on our Discord. If you're not on our Discord and you remember, get there, because I don't know why you wouldn't be. But if you're not a channel member yet, join. It's like 99p or something. And then come and join the Discord and
do it.
Poke fun at us
and ask a question.
Yeah, no, I'm just trying to find a good question. There's loads in here.
And you could be one of those people if you became a member.
Ninjixel is asking about what if Apple made a games console?
It did. It's the latest iPhone, isn't it?
Well, that's the interesting thing, actually. Let's go with that. Because they've been showing off with the latest iPhones that they can play more AAA games. Resident Evil was one of them.
Yeah, Resident Evil was one of them, yeah. I think it was Resi 7.
And Apple's new silicone, especially in their laptops and in their miniature desktops, the
M series.
M series silicone is insane.
Yeah.
But so is their, I think it's the A17 Bionic chip in the iPhone. The new iPhone. It's incredible what they're managing to do since they moved away from Intel. It's pretty mental. Yeah. Is it ridiculous to think that Apple would move back into the living room? They tried it in the 90s. They had a console in the 90s that flopped so hard. Do you think it's that crazy? Would it be a bad thing either?
It's not going to happen, is it? It's just not. Like, because they do not run on PC hardware. Every console, every system is PC based. Even the Switch is a PC.
Isn't Mac OS X built off Linux?
Possibly, but look at how much work Valve has had to do to get the Steam Deck to work.
And just to say, I mean, like, just put out there, they're the richest company in the world. If anyone's going to,
I know, but
are they interested in entertainment?
I don't think so. Yes. Like, I really don't. Like, I can't imagine. The thing is every game developer would then have to develop the game again to work. Yeah. So just like they released No Man's Sky update to run on these M1 chips. I was talking to my friend this weekend about it because he was saying about how amazing it was.
Historically, it's been a nightmare to release on.
Yes, and it's down to the developer to basically redo the game and make it work on that platform.
Okay,
I can't imagine every game it just wouldn't happen.
They'd have to put some money behind it.
Yeah, they would. Yeah.
Okay. I'll do another question from the members then.
Go on.
This is from Jane.
Yeah.
Who I think her handle on YouTube is the Scouse Socialist. Jane, who thought you were called Andy? Called Alex.
Called Bob.
You are called Andy. That's
Thanks,
weird.
Jane. I'm glad you got my name right this time. I am called Andy. Yeah.
All right. What is, for you, the saddest moment in video game history?
Oh, my days. I hate being put on the spot because I can never... The saddest moment in video game history is where I was naive enough to think to think that game like adaptations of TV shows could actually be good now.
Oh no.
Right?
Oh, this is very recent.
This happened a couple of days ago.
I don't know why you thought this would be good.
I didn't think it was going to be good. I thought it was going to be awful, but I thought it'd be playable. Right? And that is Trolls. Right? There's a Trolls game.
How much was it?
It was 20 quid. It's 40 quid it was meant to be. It was 50% off. So I was like, yeah, I'll give it a go. You know, and there's a backstory behind this. I've got a puppy. He loves watching cartoons and stuff.
Right.
We put Trolls on for him just for, you know, why not? There's like colourful stuff going on. Then me and Christina kind of got addicted to watching it, like, just like for watching it. And she said, I said to her, do you realise there's a Trolls game? So she went, buy it. Because it's co-op.
Yeah.
So I was like, why not? You know, it can't be that bad. I haven't played like an adaptation of a TV show or film in 20 years, you know? So I thought, well, they've always sucked. This is still going to be a cash grab, but it'll be all right, won't it? Like, it's a kid's game. It'll be all right.
Was it like a platform game?
Yeah. 3D platform game. So I just thought, well, it's going to suck. I know I'm expecting it to suck, but it can't be that bad, right? It came, loaded it up. First of all, it is a complete plagiarism of Sackboy, but in the worst way.
Really?
You know, the PS5 game.
Yeah.
Brilliant game, by the way. That is fantastic, especially for co-op. This was like the Russian knockoff, like, of it. Like, it was bad.
Bagman.
Yeah, Baghead. Yeah, Baghead. It might as well have been. It was terrible. The graphics, first of all, on the Series X looked like worse than the Switch did. You know, like, God. It looked bad. It was really muddy, fuzzy. The sound design was awful. There was one track just on loop like the whole time. No one had mixed the vocals, so one person would be really loud, one person, like main characters in like the like cut scenes, right, would be really quiet, and then the music's just like all over the place in between, and you're like, what is even going on here? And then you start like going to do stuff. It's a platformer. You got to jump on like a mushroom like you're meant to do, and you just fall through it, and then you go, hang on, there's like clipping problems, so you're just walking in and out of this mushroom, like, what is going on here? And I was like, this is bad, like worse than I thought. I thought it'd be playable, and the controls sucked. It was all floaty. It actually felt like a college person's like entry. If someone from college that is, I've just been studying game design for a couple of years, check out this, I've made it about Trolls, I would have been like blown away with how good it was.
I'll rip your head off. And
that's exactly what I wanted to do.
This isn't sad. This is just you ranting.
Oh, right. Oh, I thought it was the same thing.
What was the saddest moment for you in video game history? I'm going to rant about this crap game for 20 minutes.
Why not? That's my saddest history. Like, that's my saddest moment in current history, like video game history of this week.
Okay.
What about yourself? Go on. I'll stop ranting.
I was actually thinking really deeply about those like character moments that really affected you.
Oh, okay.
Like sad moments.
Sad moments.
And you've just talked about Trolls. Did you get your money back?
I've initiated the return.
Brilliant.
And I said for performance issues, I said it sucked.
Okay. Red Dead Redemption 2.
Okay.
Did you complete it?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Really good game.
Not the moment everyone's thinking.
Okay.
The moment at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah, when Arthur dies.
Yeah.
It's sad.
It's a spoiler alert, but...
If you've not played it yet, Jesus Christ. It came out like 6 years ago. Can't spoil something that old.
I'm only just playing through Final Fantasy VII now, and I'm still asking you not to spoil it, and it came out for 30 years ago nearly.
You keep asking me questions. I'm like, I can't tell you until you play the game. You still have complete crisis score, so I still can't.
So when Arthur gets resurrected because of Easter, yeah.
No, it was actually, it's not necessarily sad, but it was like a proper like moment. You know?
Okay, yeah.
You know when you go in Red Dead Redemption 2, you go to Guam, like the foreign country part.
Yes, yeah, towards the end,
yeah, right towards the end. There's a moment you come back, and it's like cutscene and song, and you're just riding your horse from Van Helsing Port or whatever it's called, all the way down to St. Louis, I think it is.
Yeah. Okay.
And you've got to go the whole way, and it's and they do it beautifully with like cinematic mode camera and a song playing the whole way, and you know it's the end is nigh.
Yes, yeah.
Absolutely, it's just, I remember like hairs on your back of your neck standing there going, wow, this is special. This game is such a good special. Game. Yeah. And you know it's coming to the end.
Yes.
You know that he's doomed.
Yes.
But you just don't want it to happen.
Yeah, totally. Yeah,
it's so beautifully done.
It's such a good game.
I would go back and relive that moment over and over again.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah.
I loved Red Dead Redemption. There's so many good story games.
I would love a new entry into that series. Maybe before Red Dead Redemption 2. I know that that's a prequel to Red Dead 1. But like what happened with the gang before, maybe something else in that world. I just think there's plenty of other stories that we told that tie in.
Totally.
It'd be really nice, and it wouldn't be over egging it too much.
I
think we would all love to go back to that.
And play it. Yeah. I mean, I'm still tempted to buy it again and play it on Steam Deck, even though I've got it on PS5. You know,
I think I could play it again quite happily. Everything apart from the first chapter when you're stuck in the snow, that bit sucks so bad.
Yeah, I want to be halfway through.
Yeah, you know, once you get Deadeye, from then on it's great.
Yeah.
Game's phenomenal.
To be fair, you know, I still haven't played the first one on Switch properly yet, because it came out, didn't it? I played it for a couple of hours and was like, this is so good, because it's really good on Switch, and then I haven't gone back to it because I've been playing everything else.
It's not, I mean, Red Dead 1's good, but it's not as good as Red Dead 2.
You know what's not as good as that?
What's that?
Trolls. So
you're as bad as me talking about RoboCop.
RoboCop's better than Trolls, I'll tell you that now.
No.
Yeah.
I still don't get why people loved RoboCop so much.
I still haven't played it.
The reviews are really positive.
I really want to play it. If it was on, it seems like the perfect Game Pass game for me.
I've still got it because they wouldn't refund me. You can play it on the Xbox that's here.
But you got it digitally, didn't you? That's the only sad thing.
Yeah.
That's the only sad thing. If you had it physically,
can't even share it with you.
No.
And there is the argument for not going digital only.
Well, that's the only issue, isn't it? Really, is that you don't have free will to sell it on secondhand or lend it to your friends.
True. Actually, very true.
That's the main problem.
I think that is the main problem. Yeah. So you know that was genuinely your saddest moment in games is Trolls.
Yes. I don't know. I can't think of any currently.
What about when Jesse dies in Final Fantasy VII Remake? You didn't care, did you?
I didn't really care. No.
You didn't care?
No.
What about when the plate fell on everyone in the Sector 7 slums?
Yes, yeah.
You didn't feel a pang of sadness, did you?
No. We evacuated them all first.
You didn't?
Well, most of them got out.
No, you didn't. They died. And there's people above in the houses. They all died.
Oh, right. I didn't know there's people like that.
Okay. So let me tie just the seeds of the picture together for you. You can go about your own thing, listeners. I'm just doing something with Andy. You know that bit when you're going up to the Shinra building and everything's messed up? Climbing. That's like the city that's fallen.
Yeah, that's
all people's houses.
Yeah, the section, the upper dwellers.
Yeah,
They're
all dead.
So. They would have got out. They're all right.
It's so dark. Oh, Rebirth as well is dark.
Yeah, no, it's amazing.
There's a moment in that that's sad.
It was really
sad.
See, I really loved Final Fantasy VII. Playing through it, remake. But I just can't think, because I've been put on spot.
I know.
My brain's just gone.
It's a difficult one, isn't it? It's a difficult one.
So, because I've played so many good games, the
only reason I thought of that is that the person that wrote the question, Jane, put maybe the end of Red Dead Redemption 2 when Arthur says goodbye to the horse. I was like, not that bit, but you're close.
Yeah, different bit.
So I cheated.
Yeah, there's so many games that I hold dear that I as soon as they've finished, I've regretted that I finished them. Do you know what I mean? I'm no.
It's funny, isn't it? Certain games, and then there's other games that I'm satisfied that are finished. Starfield, I wasn't sad that I finished.
No, I still haven't finished it. I've only just got the powers still, and I got 70 hours into it.
It's never a big undertaking. I couldn't do it again now. I don't think.
I will go back and play it definitely because it's fun. It's fun. I love Fallout and Skyrim and all that kind of stuff.
And it's not hard, which is quite nice.
Yeah, we just jump straight in and just shoot stuff.
Yeah.
Go and blast it,
literally just spam.
Yeah.
Anyway, I guess that's the end. If you got to the deep end with us, please do rate the show if you're on Spotify or Apple or wherever else you listen to your podcasts. 5 stars massively helps us out. Maybe share it with a friend if they like games
Definitely
too.
do.
Because I want to get more people listening on podcasts.
Oh, yes.
Why not? Yeah. And if you're on YouTube, it's pretty obvious what to do because the buttons are below.
Do it.
Obviously, hit them all apart from the thumbs down, unless you do that twice.
Oh, yes.
Comment, subscribe to the channel, and why should they join memberships, Andy?
Oh, because not only do you see our beautiful faces early,
that's true.
There's also members-only episodes.
Oh, wow.
Oh, and there's also access to the members-only Discord.
Which is amazing.
Yes, it is.
And fun.
And you've still not let me in yet.
I'm still trying to figure out how to use it. But it's good to be there. There's also other videos smashed between our faces.
There is indeed.
So watch them, and I guess until the next time, bye.
Bye.